Stop crying for those who have passed away. Physics tells you a cruel truth. Death simply does not exist. The person you lost hasn't actually gone anywhere. Do you think he's disappeared? He was just like a song that had been played, forever stopping at the last note. But on the film of the universe, he is laughing, calling your name, living well on that afternoon you can never return to. This is not mere comfort, but a cold mirror imagination left by relativity for humanity. We tend to think of time as a river. Yesterday it flowed away, today is beneath our feet, and tomorrow has yet to come. However, in some physicists' interpretations, the universe is more like a large, unfolding four-dimensional structure. Besides length, width, and height, there is another direction called time. We simply move in this direction, mistakenly believing that time is being created second by second. It's like riding a train through a city. The lights in the window fade behind you, and you say it's gone. But that city hasn't disappeared. Where is it now? It's just that you're no longer standing there. In his later years, Einstein wrote a similar message in a letter mourning a friend. For those who believe in physics, the distinction between past, present, and future may just be a stubborn illusion. This sentence is often overinterpreted, so we don't need to treat it as a conclusion, but just as an entry point. Perhaps the so-called present is not the only real moment in the universe, but rather where our consciousness is right now. It's like reading a book. The page you turn is called the present, the page you turn is the past, and the unread is called the future. But for the whole book, every page is always there. What's even more heartbreaking is that if this idea holds true, then your life is not a road being laid out, but like a movie that has already unfolded. From the first time you opened your eyes, to the first time you learned to run. From someone entering your life, to someone forever stopping at a certain winter. From the moment you read this sentence now, to the last time you look back at the world long after. These fragments may all occupy their own place in four-dimensional space-time. We don't write them down temporarily. We walk through them frame by frame with consciousness. So the strangest question arises: if this film had existed intact, and you were suffering, choosing, and longing for you, what would you be? Perhaps you are not the master of time, nor a bystander outside fate. You are more like a beam of light shining on this already unfolding film. Wherever the light shines, that becomes your present. Where you leave becomes a memory. Where the light has not yet arrived, you call it the future. You can't see the entire map at once because human consciousness is too narrow and can only move forward in a single moment. But not being seen doesn't mean it doesn't exist. And being out of reach doesn't mean it's erased. This also explains why losing it hurts so much. What we truly fear is not that person never existed, but that we can no longer share new moments with them. You keep playing forward, but it stops at that very moment that belongs to him. Your story no longer adds new images so that the human heart will have a space to be opened. But remember, stopping updates doesn't mean resetting to zero. That person once sat beside you, once called your name, once laughed out loud over a small matter, once lived truly on an ordinary day beyond ordinary. These moments are not washed away by time, but are forever fixed in the places you once arrived together. So nostalgia is not weakness. It feels like consciousness turning back to illuminate old coordinates. When you think of him, that image lights up again. It's not that you imagine him, but that you have once again reached a place where memories can reach. We always say time dilutes everything. But perhaps what has ever diluted us is not time, but life forcing us to shine our light elsewhere. Meals must be eaten. Journeys must be walked. The world does not stop just because one person leaves. So we slowly learn not to return every day to the person we care for most, but the things truly engraved in our hearts never disappear. Of course, this doesn't mean you have no choices in life, nor does it mean that effort is unnecessary. Even if a book is finished, readers will still shed tears over a certain page or stand up again because of a certain sentence. Even if the movie is finished, seeing the ending for the first time will still make your heart race, still feel afraid, and still be struck by a certain shot. Meaning doesn't just lie in changing the ending, but also in how you feel all of it. You loved, so that life has weight. You have hurt, so that person is more than just a name. You are willing to keep living, so wherever it rests, you carry a bit of warmth as you move forward. If one day you think of the person who left again, you don't need to rush to swallow your tears back. You can believe that in the time-space of thought you cannot reach, they still remain in a clear moment, not as a ghost, not as a miracle, but as a part that once truly existed, quietly preserved by the universe. Death prevents him from coming to you again. But he cannot take it away. He has already come. He prevents you from having tomorrow again, but cannot take away every present you once had. Perhaps the universe does not have the imagined flow of time, only countless unfolding moments. And your life is not the dust battered by time, but a scene in time and space that will never repeat. Those people you love deeply, those days you can't return to, those beautiful pasts you thought have disappeared, all remain where they were. As long as you want to remember, they will light up again.